Welcome to the Safety Culture Onboarding series. In this video, we'll cover part 1 of the mobile app user training, especially created for frontline users. Safety Culture is a mobile-first application that allows you to digitize all the elements of your operations. As an inspection management software, Safety Culture lets your team capture consistent data, identify areas of improvement, share reports, and collaborate across working teams, all from one easy-to-use application. Safety Culture itself is compatible on web or mobile, but for this part of the series, we'll demo the mobile app, as many in the field use Safety Culture this way. Now let's demo the mobile application. Within Safety Culture on the mobile application, we'll start from the home screen. On this homepage, this is where you'd find notifications, scheduled inspections, actions, or training assigned to you. At the bottom, we have the app navigation, which you'll see the features themselves, from home, inspection, actions, training, and more. The first thing we'll look at, just to make sure that you always have the most up-to-date information on your device, is the More. And we'll go ahead and see at the top here that our sync is complete. We could go ahead and sync there as well, just to make sure that the data is actually accurate. Next, we'll talk about on the mobile application is actually our inspections. So going to the bottom of the screen here, being that we're in the field, we've got a task assigned, we're going to go in and actually do an inspection itself. For the sake of today's demo, after tapping that inspections, let's go ahead and search for our manufacturing workplace inspections checklist. So now that I've got this inspection uploaded on my mobile device, I'll go ahead and start the inspection. Within starting the inspection, I can start to go through and update these. We could say this is document number 1. We could start to add what the audit title is. We could say this is our manufacturing. And then within this as well, we could start to add media and actions themselves. Let's go ahead and add a picture here on something like our client insight to say where we're at. Not much of a picture there, but for the sake of the example, shows that we could add where we're at. So as we go through, let's go ahead and add some notes. Let's add a note on our location tab. We'll say I'm on the 5th floor doing our inspection today. We've added the note, adding more context to what actually is happening on the inspection. Between the media, the note itself, we've added a bit more clarity to what is actually happening from the mobile inspection. Or let's go to the next page. The next thing what we'll do here is raise an action. So say for the sake of today's example, I've noticed something on the floor that doesn't necessarily look right that needs to actually happen. Let's say that the sign-in procedure for visitors or contractors, I'm not noticing that that is there. We'll go ahead and create an action from this. On the action, we'll go ahead and title this No Setup at the Moment, just being that we've noticed something is incorrect in the field itself. Let's go ahead and say the priority is medium. We get out a site. So today I'm at Surrey Hills. I've assigned it to myself in this video. We'll go ahead and create that action. So now that I've added that action, we could see the to-do there. We could go through and answer any relevant questions on this inspection. For the sake of today's example, I'll speed through these. There's a lot here. And we'll go through next and go ahead and actually start to complete the inspection. Now that we've completed our inspection, let's go in and save and view and export our report. As we can see here, here's the fields that I completed on our inspection tab, including the document name, number 1, the audit title, and then those pictures and any other imperative information I put in the inspection itself. In terms of sharing, we could actually download, as we see there in the purple button on the bottom, where we could download this report, have it on our own desktop, or share it in the ways outside of the application itself. We could also hit share via our Teams, share via email. All of those are ways to actually get the inspection out there to the field itself. So from the top, we'll go ahead and click those 3 buttons. From there, again, I could also download the Word report, or I could email the Word report as well to share out what's actually happened on this inspection. Now that we've viewed, downloaded, or seen what happened on the report itself, let's go into the Actions tab. Within Safety Culture, typically actions would be assigned to someone in the field. For the sake of today's example, I've assigned that to myself. That makes it easier for me to go in and perform that action. And here I'll see anything that has been assigned to myself, or we could update and filter at the top, but for today's example, I'll see assigned to me. Building on what we talked about earlier, there was no setup at the moment on that front sign-in screen for visitors. I'll actually go into the Actions tab, and let's go ahead and start to fill out what I'm noticing. For the sake of the example, now I'm in the field, I'm going to start to set this up. I've seen this to do, but now what I'll do is actually go ahead and complete this. So that way the field management and whoever reported this action gets the updated status that this has been completed. So now that I've completed the inspection, and as I've just gone through here on the screen, updated the action, and completed any of the necessary actions for myself, that's the end of today's demo. So as we've seen, we've completed an inspection, gone through the fields, updated things with media, notes, any of that imperative information, and then here at the end, completing the action on things that were noticed in the field or that I needed to actually go in and physically do myself to perform this action from a safety perspective. That's a look at the SafetyCulture platform, showing how you can conduct inspections, complete actions, and start reporting within the mobile app.